refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss.
Pacers were going to make the playoffs. It didn't end so well for you, brother.
If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool.
You fell asleep at the trade deadline when we had a trade to get Kyle Lowry out of here.
They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes. They gonna take it.
You want me to get out of hell?
I've been sad doing this.
I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself. I filled it in. No time for the doubt. They counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm ready to win. Yeah. Refuse.
That was the wrong one. But that's all good, man. Welcome to Refuse to Lose Sports, the show. We got a great episode for y'all today. As y'all can see, my boy, Mr. Get Done Son, Tomo, is not here. But we got my boy Dave next to me. I'm going to bring Dave to the front in a second, but y'all know the drill. Before I do that, I got to let y'all know what we're going to talk about today. Because y'all know y'all intrigued. Y'all are curious. Number one, we got to talk about Taylor Jenkins. He got fired in the middle of the day. Dave, we already had a lineup for questions. And then this happens. Memphis, tied for the fourth, get fired 9 games before the playoffs. We got to address that. I'm curious to see what Dave got to say about that. Russell Wilson signs with the New York Giants. What does that mean for Sheduer Sanders? Will they still draft him? He's available, or will they go elsewhere? We got to talk about that. Dave, Stefon Diggs, it's a Patriot now. He's in New England. He's down the street from me. Right? We're going to give a letter grade. We're going to grade this signing because I talked about this signing. The Pacers, shout out to Ty and your brother Tony, beat the Wizards. Shout out to Tomo. Shout out to Mark. Shout out to Devin. 162 to 1 on. How you lose by 50 and you score over 100? so we got to talk about that. We're talking about capture the flag. That's in full effect. And Dak Prescott. Shout out to my boy Tomo. He's rumored to go to the Browns. Brown said it's real. Cowboys said it's fake. So we got to talk about it. And we got the R2L Lockem In. But like I said, as promised, I got my boy Davey Dollars here. Make sure y'all tune in to Dave's Doghouse. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He has an episode coming out tomorrow at 4 p.m. Yes, Dave, I know. All right. And how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing great, Joe. Like you said, we got some great topics to talk about. I want to hear what you got, how you feel about this Taylor Jenkins situation, because this came out of left field. I wasn't expecting it. I saw it. I was like, oh, I got to let everybody know what happened. And I posted as soon as I saw it. We had some other breaking news that happened as well. John Harbaugh just got a 3-year extension with the Baltimore Ravens. So, Chris, I'm sorry. I know you told me to stop posting, but we on the show now. I got an announcement on here now, so I'm sorry, bro. But he's still there. He's still there, man. It's going to be some more stuff that's going to happen throughout the rest of the. I'm pretty sure something else is going to happen, but man, I can't wait to get this show started. It's Friday. My boy Tomo is out on a vacation right now with his family. I hope y'all enjoying vacation. Please make sure that you staying safe. Tomo, only thing I said, he was, don't drink too much, okay? But make sure you enjoy yourself, man. Let's have a great show, Joe, and let's turn up. Turn me up. Up. Jody, do your thing.
Yes, sir. Like he said, Tomo, have fun, man. You and your family. But listen, y'all, we are streaming this on 3 different platforms: YouTube, Facebook, and X. So like the video on all 3 platforms. Make sure you follow us everywhere on social media at Refuse to Lose Sports. You can see it right under me and Dave, right? And On X, though, you got to follow us at R2L Sports. So make sure you do that. We are live on X, like I just said. And lastly, make sure you share this video with somebody so they can actually watch this show live with you, because you can be a part of the show by being in the comment section. We can see all the comments y'all will be putting out throughout the show. Shout out to my bro, J-Mo, being the first comment. Let's get it with the fire emoji. All right. Big basketball guy. We got some basketball topics coming up. And shout out to Ty with the super chat, being a member for 20 months. As y'all can see, the comments that are colorful, that means you put a super chat, either you were already a member for a month or so, it's your anniversary, monthsary, that's what they call it. Or
it's your monthsivversary.
Monthsivversary, yeah, there you go. Or you can throw some change and you can get a colorful chat. Right. But go ahead, Dave, you want to read out for us?
Yeah, shout out to the best network. 162 shout outs to the Wizards. Pacers. Shout out to In the Red Corner, the best boxing show, Shakur the Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman. Hey, Ty, we 500 subscribers. We waiting for it, man. We waiting for the 500. When the 500 gonna come? That's what I want to know. When the 500 gonna come?
Exactly. It should be there by now, but I know y'all gonna get it soon. But go ahead, Joe. Finish up.
All right, he ready. And last but not least, enjoy the rest of the show. Dave, let's get to it, man. Dave like, hey, Joe, you got me, bro. I'm trying to get to this topic, all right? Because it's crazy. So, look, Taylor Jenkins gets fired. Like, out of nowhere. Right now, they are tied with the Lakers at the 4th seed. They are at the 5th seed because they lose a tiebreaker. But he got fired in person. They called him into the office, and they fired him in person. Right, he had a 53% winning percentage as a Grizzlies, and right now they had sorry, I'm messing up. The Memphis Grizzlies GM Zach Klayman. This is what he said for the firing. I am genuinely appreciative of Taylor's contributions to this team and this city over the past 6 years. 6 seasons. This was a difficult decision, I bet it was, given the consistent and tangible development of our players and the overall success under Taylor's leadership. I wish Taylor the very best going forward. And they are naming their assistant, sorry if I pronounce it wrong, Tuamas Lisalo. I'm probably brushing it, sorry. So, Dave, this is breaking news. You dropped it in the chat. Dave Shefty, or should I say Doge, whatever you want to call them. Or, I ain't gonna say the other word. We ain't no beavers over here. But anyways, Dave, what's your reaction of him being fired?
Before I get my reaction, let me tell y'all exactly how the Grizzlies have been since he was the head coach. He got hired in 2019, 2020 when he took over as the head coach. They went 34-39. They went to the play-in. In 2020, 2021, they were 38-34 with an 8 seed, lost in the first round. In 21, 2022, their best record since he was there, 56-26, second seed, lost in the second round. The very next year, they were 51-31, second seed, lost in the first round. His worst season, of course, is when Ja Morant was out for pretty much the entire season. 27-50, was it 27-55, 13th in the West. That was last season. They just it didn't cut out for them. And then this year, currently 44-29, they are currently tied for the 4th seed. But if you look at the standings, they're the 5th seed right now because the Lakers hold the tiebreaker. And it's 9 games left in the NBA season for the Grizzlies. So, Joe, my reaction is why now? The playoffs are literally right around the corner. You couldn't wait until the playoffs were over? This, to me, is the most shocking fire that I've witnessed in the NBA. I haven't seen anything this late into the season to where a head coach who's on a team that's going to the playoffs gets fired. Now, I said that there was something going on, and I found out what I think I found the reason exactly why they did this. So, Joe, since January 1st, you know what their record is against top 8 seeds?
What is it?
5-14, Joe. They haven't in the East or West being a top 8 seed since February 21st when they beat the Orlando Magic.
Mm.
Also, since the All-Star break, the Grizzlies are 8-11. So they're in a 3-game. They have 3 games under 500 after the All-Star break. They were the 2nd seed at one point. They dropped to the 5th seed. They were 36-18 before the All-Star break. So they had a pretty good record before the All-Star break. Then the All-Star break happened, and they started losing more games. They have only beaten one team over 500 since the new year started, Joe. And you want to know who that team was?
Who?
It was the Dallas Mavericks when they were missing 8 players on the team,
man.
Joe.
Yeah, and they blew them out too.
Blew them out. You're supposed to blow that team out. They have 8 missing players. You mean to tell me that you can't beat another good team and you're supposed to be one of the best teams in the West? I understand moving on from that in the offseason, but you don't do that right now when they're going into the playoffs. It's like you already know that they're not going to make any noise in the playoffs. Joe, when LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh were in the Eastern Conference all together on the Miami Heat, they had losing records against the Boston Celtics and the Chicago Bulls.
Wow.
In the regular season.
And they still won. And
they still made a difference in the playoffs. This is why I always say all the time, regular season doesn't always matter. What matters is what happens in the playoffs. Now, if you look at the playoff record, they've only gotten to the second round once since he's been the head coach. So, okay, I understand it. I understand moving on in the offseason, but you do this right now. And not only did they do it, they called him to the office. They said, yeah, I need you to come to the office. And they fired him immediately. They didn't even just fire him. They let go his assistants too. So it's a whole new regime right now, right before you get to the playoffs. It doesn't make sense to me, Joe. I don't know what they are thinking right now. This seems to be. This is what I can't find the word that I'm looking for. But this is the most rushed reason to let someone go this late in the season. They panicked at the wrong time. Like I get it. You see a trend that they may not be able to do anything, and I was hearing things that maybe the team was they wasn't buying in since the new year started and stuff like that. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is he's in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. So you got that. John Morant has been healthy as of late, so you got to make sure that he stays healthy. That's what you need the most. What you need the most is to make sure John Morant is healthy. If John Morant is healthy, you got a chance. And you wait until now to make this decision. Why you ain't made this decision before the season started? Why you ain't made this decision? Why you ain't wait till after the season? If you didn't believe he was going to get you to where you need to be, what was the reason for keeping him? But I think you should have at least given him the opportunity to go through the playoff and see if he can make a difference there. Joe, what you think?
So I was shocked too, and I don't think the reason you think that they fired him, I don't think that's the reason. I think the reason is what you said in the chat. When you look at the most shocking trade we ever seen, it was the Luka trade, right? Mm-hmm. We're like, why? And then we found out there was more to the story. It had nothing to do with basketball. It had everything to do with Luka and the GM, right? Well, I guess you say basketball. He don't really like Luka.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave, this ain't the most shocking firing we seen from a coach. The most shocking firing we seen was on R2L. Udoka. When Udoka got fired,
Yeah.
they had just got to the finals in his first year.
That's true.
You probably
That's
saying
true.
like mid-season.
I'm talking about just the timing in mid-season.
Yeah, like during the season, right before the season, right? Because he got fired in the offseason. They had just went to the finals.
Right.
And then we all were like, man, good. Udoka did a good job. Next year, watch out for the Celtics. Then they trade for Porzingis. They got you Holiday. We like, uh-oh. And then boom, Udoka gets fired. I think it happened after that. And we were all saying the same thing, like we saying now. It has to be something that is not basketball related.
Drew Holiday and Porzingis came after he was gone.
They came after? Okay, wow. Udoka probably like it. But anyways, we were all like, yo, it has to be something more than basketball. What's going on? Then they finally kind of said it. So that's the only reason why he got fired. Because yes, since the All-Star break, they got 8-11. But John Morant missed 8 out of those 19 games. He missed 8 out of 19 games. This year they're 28-15 with John Morant. Without John Morant, they're 16-14, which is pretty decent.
Mm-hmm.
And John Morant, when he won Sixth Man of the Year, not Sixth Man, when he won Most Improved, he was in the MVP conversations. All right? And not MVP conversations. It was a year. No, not that. The All-Star break. That's what it was. There were conversations like John Morant is an all-star because of his play style, but there's a case to say that they won a lot of games that year without John Morant. I mean, like how good of a coach he was without John was hurting Jaws to get some accolades. Basically, I'm trying to say. All right, so it has to be something more than basketball. He's 250 and 214 as a Grizzlies coach, which is the most wins for a Grizzly coach in history. Also, you went down the playoffs, right? Like you said, they didn't make it. Ja was a rookie. I think it was Ja's second year. They went to the play-in. Was it the second year? They went to the play-in, or his third year, whatever. They went to the play-in.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Warriors in the play-in, right? They beat the Warriors. First they had to beat somebody before the Warriors. Then they beat the Warriors. Ja drops 40 the first game against Utah. They lose 4-1. They just wasn't a good team. Then next year, like you said, they lost in the second round against the Warriors, but Ja got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
People forget that Ja got hurt in game 3.
Mm-hmm. He
got hurt. And then even the first game he didn't play, they beat the Warriors by like 40, bro, and playing whoop that trick. He's a really good coach. And then they lose that series. Then a year after that, they play the Lakers. People say, oh, they should have beat the Lakers. The Lakers was the 7th seed. Bro, they had Jaren Jackson Jr. was the only big they had. They had Tillman, bro, starting. Steven Adams was hurt. Brandon Clark was hurt. They was hurt on the front line. And you going against Anthony Davis. He was killing them defensively because they had no bigs for real. So it has to be. He's a really good coach. He's one of them coaches that you feel bad for because they always hurt. Ja going through his mess. He had to deal with that. All that stuff, right? Jaren Jackson Jr. was they literally best player. They still winning games. They got as good as the second seed this year. Like,
remember, he had to deal with Dillon Brooks when Dillon Brooks was there.
Dillon Brooks too. He had to deal with all this stuff, and he managed it through and throughout. So, and then when you play the Grizzlies, they play. They got guys. I mean, when the season started, they got guys that be. What the heck is this dude? He playing good. That's the mark of a good coach. So, like you said, like you said in the chat, Dave. Your original point, I think you're right about that. Something else had to happen outside of basketball for this dude to get fired, and we will find out. They got the 9th hardest schedule remaining the season. Sorry, Lakers, Celtics, Golden State, Miami. Let Miami get a double-digit lead, and maybe you win a game, right, Dave? So Detroit, Charlotte, Minnesota, and where we sorry too, man. You got better than us. Denver. And Dallas. No, we actually got a better record than y'all. Y'all in the East. Denver and Dallas. Wow. I ain't trying to, but based on the Western Conference standard, we're not that good. But yeah, it got to be something more than basketball.
Yeah, it got to be. It got to be because, man, I mean, he has the most wins ever as a head coach in Grizzlies history.
Yeah.
Then, since he's been there, he's been top 10 in wins since becoming a head coach, and they've always had a top 3 defense. So
every year.
I just don't get it.
Miami
Heat. Look,
uh-oh.
If he don't become a head coach, anywhere, add him to the staff.
Oh, okay.
He will help out defensively.
Okay.
He will help out defensively. You thought I was gonna say get rid of Spo. No, I
You talking about how he get guys balling? Spo, that's how Spo right there.
That's what I'm saying. You put him on Spo staff.
I think he's gonna get a job. They say he's gonna be the top candidate for next year.
Yeah, I think
the Wizards might go get him though. But
the 76ers might get him. More than likely, their coach is gone. Coach Bud gone. Oh no. Yeah.
But I do want to say this real quick. The Memphis Grizzlies, who they promoted, he coached the Paris team. So in the Olympics. So that's probably why they so high on him, because how they almost beat the USA team that was stacked. They actually went out their way to recruit guys to win a gold. They almost won that game. So that's probably why they so high on them. But there's some other teams that's high on people. And I'm not talking about Paris. I'm talking about New York. Russell Wilson.
In New York.
In New York. Unlimited. Mr. Unlimited. Russell Wilson has a new home. He's in New York as a Giant. We just talked about Jameis Winston in the breaking news live on the show. And I think Dave broke that too live on the show. So there's confliction, because a lot of people feel like the Browns will draft either Travis Hunter, right, or the Abdul.
Joe. Is it just me, or did Joe just get cut off? I'm not sure what happened. But man, Russ to New York is crazy, y'all. I mean, let me tell y'all about this. Mr. Unlimited is now with the Giants. I don't know what the Giants are thinking right now. The Giants just signed Jameis to a contract. And now all of a sudden, they give Russ a contract, 1 year, $21 million. What's going on in New York? Are they really looking to find the quarterback for the future? The question is, what's going to happen? What is going to happen to New York? Which I think is going to happen to Sheduer. Do you think Sheduer is actually going to be drafted to the Giants? Because it's looking like they're not going to draft the quarterback. They don't care about a quarterback for the future. Maybe they think maybe they think DeVito is the quarterback for the future, and they got Jameis and Russ in there to, be the bridge quarterbacks for him. Russ already said, man, I'm coming in, I'm thinking I'm the starter. If he's the starter, and then you got Jameis. Jameis going to defend a man like he Deshaun Watson. You remember how Deshaun Watson was playing bad last year, and Jameis came in there and started addressing him right there. He was like, "Nah, man, that's my quarterback. I know what kind of person he is. Y'all know what Jameis do. Jameis the GOAT for that." But this is going to be a heck of a spectacle in New York. A heck of a spectacle. I'm not sure what the GM is thinking. I don't understand why he even still the GM. He's still the GM, and he just signed Jameis, and now he got Russ. Joe, I actually heard that even though they got Jameis and even though they got Russ, they still might draft Sheduer. So what's going on with this quarterback room? What is the direction for the New York Giants? I don't know what the direction is going to be. Because you already got two different characters in there with Jameis and Russ. That's going to be something to see. And then if you got Sheduer coming in there, I don't know. Joe, go ahead. I know you was having some technical difficulties. I think Russ had heard what you said, and him and Sierra made sure they cut off the airways to get you up off the show. So, but let them finish. I'm gonna make sure I protect you this time.
The football he threw at the NBA game, it knocked out the Wi-Fi plug.
Oh, makes sense.
But they won't disagree with this one. I didn't hear the first half what you said, but I heard it back in. I like the move. I like it because the Giants are sitting at number 3. Nobody knows what the Browns are going to do. Will they take Sheduer or will they get a defensive guy, Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter, right? We don't know what they're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if they get Sheduer, okay, you got Russ and you can circle the block and get a quarterback to mold for the next couple of years because you got 2 veterans who you would want your young QB to be around. 2 guys who set good examples of, like I'm not talking about like they very great quarterbacks, but they're modern citizens, they're good guys, and they're going to teach. They're going to teach, right? Jameis will do that, and so will Russell Wilson. Russell did say he expects to start. But if Sheduer is there somehow, you take him. Russ, I get it. You expect to start. So did Matt Flynn when they drafted you. Matt Flynn got a $15 million contract. He was with Green Bay balling off the bench. Seattle signs him, give him $15 million a year, and that was a lot of money back then. I know it sounds crazy now. A lot of money back then. Russ get drafted as a 3rd-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was 3rd-round pick, or probably 5th. He wasn't first. And he beats out Matt Flynn in training camp and took the starting job and led him to the playoffs to the 2nd round. So, yes, you expect to start. He didn't say, I am the starter. He said, I expect to start. We got to realize Dayball and Joe Shohan, whatever his name is, they are on the hot seat. So they made a move for security because they got to protect their job. If they can't get Sheduer, they need to start winning some games this year. But if they get Sheduer, if Sheduer's not ready, there's no rush. Cool. Sit behind Russ. If Russ stick it up, guess what? We could always throw in Sheduer. For real. So like, I actually like the move. I'm okay with it. And if I'm the Giants, if Sheduer is there, draft Sheduer. Drive them, and they all competing. There it is. And you only got Russ for 10 minutes.
3 quarterbacks. 3 quarterbacks that can potentially start all in one quarterback room, Joe.
I mean, look what they paid him though.
It'll be great for the media. I tell you that. It'll be great for the media. I think it's definitely gonna be that because you're gonna be, Russ. He's gonna say Giants Nation. Let's film. He gonna say something weird. I don't know. And then you got Pastor Jameis Winston back there. He gonna give his sermons every single time. And then Sheduer is just gonna be like, man, look, I'm Prime Junior. You know what it is when I come here. That's 3 different personalities.
Oh yeah.
I don't know,
but
I just don't understand the direction. The thing is, you got Jameis already, and then you went and signed Russ. So you got 2 vets in there, and you still got Tomo DeVito in your quarterback room. So now you're saying you're gonna have 4 quarterbacks in your quarterback room.
So if Sheduer is available, what should they do?
Draft him. I'm saying draft him.
Okay.
My thing is, why sign Russ if there's a possibility that Sheduer is going to be there?
So what if they don't sign
James
Russ
already?
So what if they don't sign Russ and Sheduer's not there?
Then you just pick whoever you get. I think no matter what, I still just don't understand it because you already gave a contract to Jameis. Do you really need 2 vet quarterbacks in that room?
I think what's going on, I think you're focused on the name. Jameis signed for a 2-year, $8 million. That's $4 million a year. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson signed for a 1-year, $10 million. That's not a lot for a quarterback. These are 2 guys who are veterans who are not solidified in their situation right now.
Is that $10 million or $21 million? Because I thought I saw $21 million.
$10 million a year. It's probably $10 million a year. Oh yeah, 21. Nah,
I thought that's what I saw.
You probably talking about Justin Fields. He got 21 million. Hold on. Am I tripping? Hold on. Yeah, 1 year, $10 million. I'm not tripping. Yeah, $1 million, $10 million, and $5. $1 million, $10 million, and $5 million. That's his contract.
Oh, what
So-
$8 million signing bonus? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, he already got most of the
Oh, it will allow him to earn up to 21.5 million.
or bonuses,
Yeah,
right? Which is cool, yeah, because he got like
I just knew I saw 21 million somewhere. I just
yeah, he got stimulus for like playing 50% of the snaps, I believe, and like other stuff, you know. But he has to play. It's an incentive, which makes him more competitive. So it's like why not situation? Because if we can't get a quarterback or Sheduer, then we gonna just what's the name? We just gonna roll with Russ. And then like if we can't get Sheduer, we can get another quarterback around the block, like in the second round.
They might do what the Cowboys did to
Dak.
Nah, not Dak. Cooper. What they did to Cooper Rush last year. Remember, Cooper Rush was he had a signing bonus he might have, and if he played a certain amount of snaps, and then they snatched him.
Nah,
they snatched him. They might do the same thing to Russ, man. I don't know.
Lie. This
I don't know. My thing is this though, Joe. Sheduer, I don't think Sheduer's going to come in there and want to sit for a year. That's the thing. That's what's really confusing me, because Sheduer is considered quarterback for the future, and most quarterbacks now come out the draft, they start immediately. Now, do I think that that's right depending on the situation? No, I think there's some times where you might need to have a quarterback sit for a year, like Anthony Richardson. I think he should have sat for a year before he started. If there's maybe another quarterback that you can name, maybe they should have sat for a year before they got a chance to actually play. But Sheduer is going to come in.
Bryce Young.
Yeah. So he's going to come in and thinking like, man, maybe he can be like, man, I'm the guy. You drafted me in the first round. I should be starting. So what's the point of having these guys and draft Sheduer if Sheduer's like, I'm going to start? He's considered quarterback for the future, franchise, generational talent. That's what they call. That's some of the things that are saying about Sheduer. You don't draft a guy like that and have Russ and Jameis in that same locker room. It just don't make sense to me.
I don't know, because you want a guy who wants to earn their job. He don't have to sit for a year, right? Now I know you might. I keep referring back to my boy. He's a standard now, best rookie of all time. They grow, so I got to go back to him when it comes to rookie quarterbacks, right? But when he came in. Kay Adams said this too and confirmed. Kay Adams crazy. Kay Adams said this. I listened to an interview with her. Probably happened like a week and a half ago. She said she was interviewing Jane Daniels. She said, "Do you know that when I came to y'all training camp, or whatever, like your coach came to me and said, Dan Quinn told me you're not talking to Jaden." And I was like, "Why not? I just want to say hi because he's now a starting quarterback. Marcus Mariota is." It's like, oh. Because he had to earn the spot. Everything he got, he had to earn it. But Joe, he wasn't a captain. He wasn't a starting quarterback. And I know you might say, we all knew he was going to start.
Brian Daboll's not Dan Quinn.
But no. Brian Daboll is saving his job. If anything, he needed to start Sheduer if you want to save his job.
That's my thing, Joe. So why you have Russ and Jameis?
Here's the thing. But he's a coach. If Sheduer is not ready, then Russ will start, which is fine, because you don't want to throw Sheduer out there when he's not ready. If he's ready, if he's clearly like the best option for y'all, then you start Sheduer. I promise you, if they draft Sheduer, he ain't going to start. He's going to be like, it's a competition. And I love it. And Russ better understand because he did the same thing to Matt Flynn. And that's crazy. Matt Flynn got $15 million. He only got 10. And that was like 10 years, not like 11 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, well, Russ started the season 6-1 with the Steelers, and then he was 0-5 after that. So that's what they're looking at. They're looking at that 0-5 record after that, and then losing that playoff game.
And so, I honestly believe, like the Steelers, man. I mean, look at the Steelers roster and look at the Giants roster. I mean, think about it, because if they don't get Sheduer, if Sheduer's not there, they're going to draft Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. So, like, they're not going to draft a Jackson Dart that early in the draft. They're not going to do that. No. If they do draft Jackson Dart, they would trade back and get multiple picks in the first round. But my whole thing is, even if Sheduer's not there, they could be pretty okay this year. Like, better. Russ could actually have a better season. Not saying the Giants will have a better season than the Steelers, but Russ could have a better season this year with the Giants than he did last year with the Steelers.
I don't know how much better it'd be because he went to the playoffs last year with the Steelers.
No, I'm talking him individually. Don't forget, Justin Fields won 5 of those games.
He did, but
He went
what
5 and 2, right?
He was 4. It's 4-1. It's 4-1.
Dang. Oh no, he lost to the Cowboys and he lost to somebody else.
No, Justin Fields was 4-1.
For real?
So yeah, when Russ took over, he was 4-1.
I thought he lost a game before. Oh, okay.
I remember him being 4-1, and then because the question was why would you have him take over if he's 4-1? That was the question during that time.
So what was Russ' record then?
Russ started off 6-1, then he lost the last 5 games.
So he won 6-6.
Pretty much.
Okay, he could go 9-8 with the Giants.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I think if they still got to address the offensive line. So
yeah, but Thomas is gonna come back. He was hurt last year. Like they got guys. They just be hurt. You know, they just be hurt. You know,
you think that's not gonna carry over for this season?
I mean, you're right. Because I know one guy who got hurt last year, but he might carry over the season. That's Stefon Diggs. Hey, Dave, I've been practicing, bro. I've been practicing. But anyway, Stefon Diggs, he's a New England Patriot. Back to the AFC East. So he was with the Texans, had an ACL injury. I believe it was an ACL injury. At week 8, missed the rest of the season. Had a good start too, Dave. And now he signed with the New England Patriots. And his contract, I mean, what is it, Dave? I got it right here. His contract is
3 years, $69 million.
3 years, $69 million, $26 million guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So we giving grades out, Dave. You kicking this one off. What letter grade are you giving Stefon Diggs of the signing of going to New England?
Letter grade that I give the Patriots for signing Stefon Diggs. I'm gonna give them a B-.
Okay.
I like this move. I like this move for New England because if you look at it, I don't think they're gonna ask him to be what he was before. For one, he's coming off an ACL injury. He only played in 8 games last year. He missed the last 11 games. I mean, not 11. Last 9 games of the season. He 47 catches, 496 yards, 3 touchdowns in 8 games. That was his stats last season. But if you look at the seasons prior, he had 100 catches almost every single year right before that. And that was all with the Bills. And coach, I know you're watching, but if you're not, I understand that he's playing in the cold. He's in Boston. I get it. I understand. He was in Buffalo. It was cold then as well. The reason why I don't give it anything higher than a B- though is because he does tend to seem to dwindle down when it gets colder, especially in December. In December, not last year, but the year before, he had 24 catches total, 214 yards, 0 touchdowns. That was in 2023. 2022, he had 24 catches, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns. The year before that, he had 22 catches, 245 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he's not producing that much in the month of December. So I understand that there's going to be some concern about Stefon Diggs playing in the cold in New England. But remember, the Patriots still have $76 million in cap space. And they have a top 4 pick in this year's draft. I believe with Mike Vrabel there now, they're going to draft a wide receiver to add to that locker room. Who that wide receiver is going to be, it depends on how the draft goes. Because Travis Hunter could easily be picked either 2 or 3. He could be 1. We don't know for sure. Even though I believe that it's unanimous right now that Cam Ward is going to be the number 1 overall pick. I think the Titans are going to draft him. I feel like everything they've been doing is preparing the team to be able to draft Cam Ward with the offensive lines that they've done, helping out with the weapons and everything. So I believe the Cowboys going number 1 overall. But 2 and 3, don't know, because the Browns, they have a need at quarterback. If you look at their situation, even though they went and traded for Kenny Pickett and they still have Deshaun Watson, they don't necessarily want Deshaun Watson. They've already said that was a failed experiment. They said it themselves. They know that they messed up there. Kenny Pickett, is he really a starting quarterback? I'm going to say no. But he right now believes he's a starting quarterback. So what are they going to? Are they going to draft Abdul Carter? Are they going to get Travis Hunter? Are they going to get Sheduer? No one knows. Right now, from my side, I think they're going to draft Abdul Carter. So that takes away 2. 3, Giants. We just talked about them. Who are they going to draft? Is it going to be Travis Hunter or is it going to be Sheduer? If it's Sheduer, then the Patriots have exactly who they want. They got Travis Hunter right there. But if not, they can still go get T-Mac from Arizona. They have they're at number 4 spot. They're at the golden spot after the top 3 to draft whatever wide receiver they need to be able to help out that locker room. And if you don't draft a wide receiver right there, you can draft Tyler Warren, the tight end out of Penn State. That's still another weapon on that offense. So I think that you won't have to depend on Stefon Diggs too much to where he has to be fed the ball the entire time. Because you went and signed, you already signed Mac Hollins to help out. We saw what he did with the Bills. So you got Mac Hollins to help out in that locker room. You still got my boy that came over from the 49ers that's still there as well. He's pretty much going to be your 3rd string. And you got Diggs. So you have enough weapons to go around to where he doesn't have to be your solidified number 1 receiver. He may be the best. He has the name. So of course he's going to be your number 1 wide receiver. But you're not going to expect him to be, Jamar Chase. You're not going to expect him to be Justin Jefferson, AJ Brown. You're not expecting him to put up those kind of numbers. So if he puts up, let's say 90 catches, 85 catches on the season, he gets about 1,100, 1,200 receiving yards. That's a pretty good season. So I like this. I give it a B-. You on mute, Joe.
I give it an A. I give it an A. Probably A+. Let me tell you why. Because it's high reward, low risk. That's why. Based on this situation. You just said it, Dave. After signing him, he got $76 million in cap space. $76 million. What are they going to do with the money? It's like the 3rd phase of free agency, bro. Like, it's available.
Yeah, exactly. Ain't nobody out there. I mean, they can go draft, get a safety if they want, or another running back, but it's no big names out there. If they want,
they still got money for that, though.
Exactly. They can go if they want. They can go sign Nick Chubb because he's still out there. He's still a free agent.
And listen to the contract. People, I saw a post. He's getting paid more than Terry McLaurin. He's getting paid more than this person. It's a 3-year, $69 million contract, $26 million guaranteed, which I believe is the first year of the contract, $26 million. After the first year, is no guarantee money, if I'm not mistaken. So he's basically on a $26 million contract for the first year with money that you was going to pocket anyway. So best case scenario, he plays well. Guess what? You can keep him for another year. And guys will see Drake May. This is an opportunity for guys to see Drake May flourish with a good receiver to make them more attractive. That's what this is all about.
It's a new regime. This ain't the regime with Tom Brady and a bunch of guys that he picked out of the.
There's nobody, right? I'm sorry. I don't say nobody. I'm so sorry. A bunch of guys are not superstars.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody in the NFL is somebody. I'm sorry. Because I'm not there. Anyway, I don't want nobody. Anyway. But so I think this is a good move because, like I said, worst case scenario, he's not good. Cool. You walk and you still got money next year. Like the contract ain't guaranteed next year. But if he's good, bet everybody sees that Drake May actually nice. Stefon Diggs at this age did XYZ. Man, I want to go there. Remember, they try to get Brandon Ayuk. He ain't want to go there. He tried to get Chris Godwin. He took way less money, although no state taxes in Florida. Took way less money to stay in Florida. They also try to get another guy, DK Metcalf. It's too cold, but they go to Pittsburgh.
And they go to Pittsburgh.
So nobody wants to play there. But if Stefon Diggs goes, and the reason why Stefon Diggs went there, Dave, because he knew that he had leverage. They wanted a receiver, and he knew he can milk them. So him going there, and he does well, will be good for the Patriots. Now, another reason why it's a good move, Dave. Listen to this. The Patriots last year, their receiving core, 161 receptions, which is 28th in the NFL, 1,723 yards, which is last in the NFL, 10 touchdowns, 10 touchdown receptions. Terry McLaurin had more than the whole team combined. As far as like our receivers, that was 28. So Stefon Diggs, you mentioned some of the stats: 64 targets, 47 receptions. Both of those were 7th in the NFL before he got hurt. Yep. So he was playing really good before he got hurt.
He was still a top 10 receiver at that time.
As like a second option for real, because he's second/third, you know.
Because he had Nico Collins and yep.
So that's that. Now, would I disagree with you though? I don't think they're going to draft another receiver. I think because they went and got Stefon Diggs, they know they're not going to win this year. They know that. What they need, is protection. They're going to get somebody in the offensive line. Will Campbell, LSU. That's a guy I think they're going to draft.
That's a good one too, because they do need help in the offensive line.
Yeah, I think they're going to draft O-line or Will Campbell, whatever. If Travis Hunter, it all depends on. I think they're going to draft Travis Hunter or Dual Carter. They're going to draft a Dual Carter probably. Depending on what the Browns do, or they're going to get one of those guys. But if they're not available, which I think they will be available, then they'll get Will Campbell. Anyways, but you said it. I gotta mention it. We gotta talk about it. Stefon Diggs in the code. Shout out to Coach Coombs. You mentioned some of the number. I gotta say it, right? But this don't matter because they don't expect to do great. But his last season with the Bills, you mentioned some of the numbers. I'm gonna be a little bit more precise with the numbers. 64 targets. All right, sorry. That's last year. Sorry. In the last 3 years in Buffalo, 3 years. In the first 9 games, 7.8 receptions a game, 95.1 yards per game. Okay, I'll take that.
Yep.
After the 9 games, 5.2 receptions, 55.1 yards per game.
It's a drop. It's a drop.
In the playoffs, 4.5 receptions, 48.1 yards per game. It goes even lower because it's cold in the playoffs. Like Coach said it so many times, and it just went on my head. But he's right. Like the colder it gets, the worse he gets.
Yes. That's why I took Joe, I swear I was doing as much research as I could, and I was like, man, I can't find what I'm looking for. You know what? Let me just break it down from season by season. I'll figure it out this way. It doesn't get any better. I'm just like, man.
That's why we went to Houston. We was like, hallelujah. He should be straight. As long as they don't go to Kansas City in the playoffs.
And then he got hurt. He was like, oh, dang.
But I like the move. I think it's a high risk, low reward. Or sorry, high reward, low risk. Because what's the worst that can happen? Worst can happen is he don't play good, which is fine. And then the money he's going to throw away anyway just goes with him. So that's how I look at it for real.
Yeah, I like this move though. I think this is a really good move for them because if you look at the Patriots' history, they don't have a history of having like big name receivers. I know the biggest name you could think of is Randy Moss. That's what they had, but they have had serviceable guys like a Wes Welker, like a Troy Brown, Danny Amendola,
Deion Branch. Deion Branch is pretty good.
Branch. Julian Edelman. So they have I've always had some serviceable. They even had Brandon Lloyd at one time. So they have some serviceable receivers. But I'm just saying, I really think this regime is going to be different when Mike Vrabel is the head coach, and he's going to bring in some weapons in for Drake May. They want to make sure he succeeds.
Yeah, and that's not Patriots' way to sign a receiver like that. That's not the Patriots' way. They like to, like you said, get these other guys. You know.
Because remember, they traded what, like a 6th or 7th round pick for Randy from the Raiders during that time?
Yeah, because he was kind of quitting on the Raiders. But I mean, outside of the Raiders, I know another team that quit yesterday, the Wizards.
They've been quitting all season.
The Wizards lost 162 to 109. That's crazy, Dave. They lost about 50 points, and they scored 100 plus points. That's ridiculous. So we're gonna react to that. I'm gonna keep this one all day. Dave. I watched that, so I didn't watch it live. I saw shout out to Ty. So I'm chilling. I'm watching the Duke game. You know what I mean? Duke and what's the name? Oh my
Duke,
God,
Arizona.
And it first half was lit.
It was.
You know what I mean? It was lit.
I mean, second half became lit at the end, but
It did.
We had
It
to get
did.
that. We had to get that dub. Thank you, Kayla Love. You cooked, but you know had to get you up out of there.
He did though, and shout out to Cooper Flag, bro. He's that guy. Not gonna lie, bro. He was throwing dimes, some lives. Anyways, I'm watching the game. And I check in my group in an NBA chat. No, it Refuse to Lose chat, and Ty said, Ricky. He tagged Ricky. By the way, Ricky, Ty, Tomo in the red corner. Dave talked about them earlier. Make sure you go on the super chat. Make sure y'all go check them out. Hey, Ricky, a team has scored 162 points. I'm like, what? I go to the ESPN app and I saw him like, oh my gosh. It was against the Wizards too. Like, that made it more better. I was like, oh my goodness. And then I look at the stats. 48 assists.
Yes, Joe. Oh
That's the second most assists in a team history. 162 points is the most in their history. Then I saw the Wizards score 109. Like, what the heck? They lost by 53 and they scored 109 points, Dave. What the heck? What's going on? Teams win scoring 109. You lost by 53. That's crazy. And then on top of that, which is crazy, I look at the numbers. They shot 64% from the field. The Pacers. 64. 57% from three. They shot 19 free throws. But then I go watch the game, Dave. And they was burning the clock with 2 minutes left. With 2 minutes left, but they was holding the ball and getting a shot clock violation on purpose. The Pacers. If they wanted to, they could have had 170.
Yeah, they could have had 180 possibly.
like they could have had 170 for real. This shows you the Wizards are in tanking mode, bro.
Yes.
They are Cooper Flag and bust.
Serious tank mode.
Yes.
Serious tank
Capture
mode.
the flag. I saw a post on IG and it said Cooper Flag is thinking about considering like seeing that the Wizards are the worst team. He should reconsider and stay another year. And then somebody commented and said, bro, we can do this all day.
We're gonna be bad again next year. I saw that too. That was hilarious.
Oh, I got a super chat. Let me bring this up for a second. Super chat. Hold up. Shout out to my brother, Vaughn, Mr. Real Brothers Only RBO. Great episode last night. Make sure y'all go check that out.
Facts.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to BWT. I see you, Dave. I see you on there. All right. We had an episode too. Paulo top 5. $10 super chat. Look, they got
wow. You my boy. And I love Paulo. He's not top 5. Not right now.
It's crazy. Injury kind of set him back though.
Yeah, it did. It did. Look, he's definitely on the trajectory though. Don't get me wrong. He is a baller.
He can get in the conversation. They get to the playoffs and he make noise.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He absolutely can.
You said name in top 5. Come on, Vaughn.
We're not doing that right now. We're not doing that right now. We'll do that at another time.
But yeah, that's my take, man. My take is basically the Wizards are in tanking mode. They must have heard what I said. Kings go capture the flag. They see Memphis fire their coach.
It was no, sir. Let's go ahead and get this. Let's go get this. Take this L.
Facts.
Joe. Now you said it from the Pacers' point of view. Let me tell you from the Wizards' point of view. This was the most lopsided loss in Wizards history, Joe. The most. This is the most they've ever lost by in history. So this is for sure the tank mode. This is tank. Like they don't care about they don't care about winning. And that Chris Middleton, you said something that was crazy to say. The Wizards are going to make the playoffs next year? Really? With the head coach you got now, I don't think so. So unless you fire the head coach you got now and you're able to draft Cooper Flag and you get Taylor Jenkins, just stop. All right. Stay off the weed. Okay. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. I don't know what you're doing right now, but it's not happening. Next year, I don't see it. Now, people may be saying, well, look at Detroit. Detroit got JB Bickerstaff. JB Bickerstaff was on the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. Number 2. He was top 2 in the Eastern Conference last year with the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's a little different. And everyone thought that at least me, I thought that was a crazy move to fire him after last season. And then you look at the roster they have. They have a really good young roster with Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren. They got some really good guys. Tyrese Halliburton has been one of the best players in the NBA since he had the beef with Tim Hardaway Sr. Tim Hardaway Sr. just fueled Tyrese Halliburton. He's been balling. He has the most assists in the league since then. He was in the league with assists since then. The Pacers have been balling. The Wizards literally don't care about the NBA this season. All they care about is getting a high draft pick. But be careful, because just because you got the worst record don't mean you're going to have the number 1 overall pick. Remember, the last 4 teams all get the same percentage. They all get 14%. So it's not going to be as easy as you think it is. So even if you lose the rest of the games, the Hornets are still going to be in there. You still got the Kings is going to be in there. And what's another bad team in the NBA right now?
Well, we ain't bad, Dave. You know what I mean? We still in the play-in.
I know, but I'm just saying. Miami's there too.
But speaking of that, the Charlotte Hornets.
All I'm saying is the net Brooklyn. That's what I was looking for. That's the team I was looking for. You got other teams to compete with, so you might be able to get Cooper Flag, but you also might get Coombs out of Baylor. You might have to draft him. You might have to draft Ace Bailey. If it ain't Cooper Flag, then I don't see you making the playoffs next year. I don't see it. Cooper Flag could be a difference, but it's the NBA too. I don't know if he's gonna make that much of a difference in the NBA. Now, I will say this: I heard that when he was 13 years old, he did play basketball against some D1 players, and he cooked them when he was 13. So that may give you some clues as to, hey, if he did it at 13, he 18 now. And at some point in the NBA, he's gonna be 19. So I mean, but
he came out here early.
Yeah. Also, some other things to go back on the Pacers. Some other things that happened. They also made 27 3-pointers in that game. That's the most in their franchise history. They scored 45 points in the first quarter. Then it was 83-61 at halftime. They scored 42 in the third. They had 2 40-plus point quarters in that game, Joe.
Crazy.
Wizards trash, man. I'm sorry. they don't care.
They average 40 points a quarter. 49 points a quarter. That's 160.
Their biggest lead was 59 points. That means you almost lost the game by 60.
They had a 3 at the end too.
The Pacers had 11 players make a 3-pointer last night, Joe. 11 players. That's crazy. And that's not even the most points they've ever scored in the NBA history. That's the most in NBA history. The most in their history was 177 when they did that in the ABA. Wizards, man. Shout out to the Pacers, man. Pacers, top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. And like Joe said he believes that's the scariest team in the East. So they definitely look scary to the Wizards yesterday.
I'm telling you, bro. The Pacers, they can make some noise, but I gotta push on one thing you said, but you kind of said it. You could. I think the Wizards could make the playoffs next year in the East. I mean, they taking. It look bad, but they taking. They're gonna have cap space next year. You feel me? And they get Cooper Flag. All Detroit did, yes, they got bigger staff, but they also put shooters around.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Malik
also what they
Beasley.
did.
That's running there with Malik Beasley and
Tim Hardaway Jr., you know? So, I mean, I can see the Wizards making a play-in. They end up in the playoffs next year because they're going to be veterans that might want to play with Cooper Flag if they get them.
Yeah, because Cooper Flag is going to play on both sides of the floor. He's going to play offense and defense, especially that block he had last night. Oh, my goodness.
Bro, he's
swatted that.
I like him, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I like him a lot. And I found out that he came in college a year early.
Mm-hmm.
Like he could have stayed in high school. Like he came in a year early, whatever. So, I mean, that's your boy. If we talk about Paulo, he do. Now you talk about Cooper Flag. I mean, that's your boy. You cool with him being with the Wizards? I mean, you in Jersey.
I'm in Jersey. I don't care where he go at. As long as he don't go to the Celtics, I'm good.
I mean, listen, as long as he don't go back to the 70s or 80s, because LeBron James made some comments about them guys, and he was some people think he was very disrespectful. Some people think that it was fair. He said things like, if Kyrie Irving would have played back then, they would have had to like ban him for dribbling, like they banned Wilt for doing certain things, they Kareem certain things. He talked about Giannis. I believe he says that he would score 200 points in the game.
Yep.
250?
250.
So, I mean, basically, what's our reaction to that? I mean, was LeBron fair or foul, basically? And I'm going to kick this one off. First of all, Giannis was a bad example. I get what LeBron is saying, but Giannis was the bad example. Giannis would score less back then than he will now. Exactly. The reason why Giannis is dominant because there are no bigs in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Giannis is dominant. Back then,
did he forget that Kareem was playing during that time?
Like, bro, you know, you go to the 90s, you got all these David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon. He would put Giannis in a blender.
Exactly.
And strap Giannis.
Exactly.
So my thing is, Giannis was a bad example. I get Kyrie. Now he over-exaggerated about all that stuff. Now I'm with LeBron. He also said that the Hummer. You look at the Hummer back in like 2000, early 2000s. He said Hummer because they gave him when he's in high school. It just clicked my brain. You get a Hummer back in like early 2000s and a Hummer today or a Jeep. I mean, it's night and day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, look at a simple Toyota. My first car was a 1990 Toyota Corolla. Touch on it. Looked like the red car on Boys in the Hood. It was so small like that, and it was black with some gray scrapes on the front. It was ugly. You look at a Toyota Corolla 2026. That thing look like it's in the future, and you compare it. So that's true evolution because you learn as you go. Like for example, like not for example, but it's anything like if I played in NBA 1970, guess what? There were no 3-point lines. Okay, cool. So we shot everything inside. Then they created a 3-point line. And then we realized the 3-point line is actually harder than the 2-point. I'm going to still do the 2-point. But then you realize, and then probably like in the 2000s, y'all know if we shoot a little bit more threes, you know what I mean? You will actually get more points. Okay, then we'll shoot a little bit more threes. And then in 2010, it's like, bro, let me do this math. If I do this, so the more you do something, the more it gets better. That's how it is. So what I dislike about the whole situation, Dave, before you criticize, praise. Give homage. Say things like, yo, I'm grateful, blah, blah. But come on now. Like, if anybody played from now and back then, they were cooked, which is true. And it should be true. Because back then, we're no AAU. Back then, it wasn't other guys like they multiple like so many guys they can watch over and say like, oh, I can monitor my game after this. It wasn't a lot of personal training, all that stuff. Like it wasn't a lot of resources back then. You gotta take all that into consideration.
Yep.
First of all, in the 70s, not until like mid 70s, black people, it was only a certain amount of black people you got have on your team.
Yeah, you can only have maybe like 4 or 5 during that time.
Because everybody was in the ABA, whatever. Like Julius Erving, all them dudes was in a whole different league, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta realize the times are different. So I hate the fact that they destroy and disrespect the era without paying it homage first. I agree that guys today, you put, I mean, name anybody. I mean, Tyler Hero. I'm not gonna play Tyler Hero. I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Right.
Why not?
You right. I can do Tyler Hero. You put, I don't know about that. I wouldn't say if I put him in the 90s, he would be like,
No.
Okay, you put, bro, I know you Tyler Hero, bro. I'm sorry. If you put DeMar DeRozan, perfect. DeMar DeRozan in the 70s, he'll be better than he was nowadays, probably. High flyer. I know he's DeMar DeRozan. I'm gonna use
Come on now, Ty. Come on now.
Trae Young.
You tripping.
But people say Trae Young too small. But y'all get the point. Guys are more skilled today. So my only issue, Dave, is respect the older guys because they pay the way they have less resources than guys have right now. Because at the end of the day, y'all more competitive. But guess what? These dudes play 82 games a year. Y'all dudes sitting out with a toe pain, pinky pain. Oh, I got a headache. I ain't playing today. Come on, man. Pay homage to the old heads.
Yeah, I have pretty much the same sentiment as yours. I'll say this though. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. he got a troll. That's it. He got a troll. I think Tyler will put up the same amount of points he put him now back in the 70s. I think my issue with it is what you were saying in the end. The resources. My thing is, are you putting the players the way that they are now into the 70s? Or if they were in the 70s, they would be exactly that just because of their athleticism. The thing is, back then, there were athletic players at that time as well. Iceman George Gervin, was he not athletic? You had Dr. J. There were some athletic ballers back then too. It's just that there were some things that weren't allowed back then. They weren't even dunking during that time, I don't think. So you got to think about all of that stuff. And honestly, I don't. There are some players that could ball out in any era. I think LeBron would be good in any era. I think Jordan would be good in any era. Kobe good in any era. Dwayne Wade good in any era. James Harden good in any era. Like I can go down with Kyrie good in any era. Jokic, I believe he'll be good in any era. There's so many guys you can name that it's like, okay, these are era-less players. Like no matter where you put them at, they can go and ball. But some people you just can't name. Giannis, for one, Giannis does not have a certified jump shot. He's not good at the free throw line. He can't shoot from 3 consistently. And back then, they weren't really shooting the 3 ball at all. What could Giannis do? Giannis is known for driving the lane. Big men during that time weren't driving down the lane. They were in the lane waiting on the ball. So that means Giannis would have to be putting his back to the basket most of the time, which means he's not going to be able to do what he does in the NBA right now, which means he would not dominate. I'm sorry. I think that he would probably average 20, 25 points per game during that time, but he won't be doing what he does now because back then the coaches were like, no, you go get in the paint. Think about it. Shaq had the same ability before he gained weight. When he was with Orlando, he could drive the ball. He could handle. He even had a jump shot. He was even pretty decent at the free throw line in the beginning of his career. But he was a big man, so they moved him to the paint, and he got bigger. So that's all he did was he was in the paint majority of the time. Now, if you look at someone like Hakeem could dominate because Hakeem also had a jump shot. He had a really good mid-range shot.
Mm-hmm.
Giannis does not have that. So that was absolutely a terrible example. I think that was a bad example. Now, if he said Joel Embiid, if he was healthy, I get it. Because Embiid can actually shoot the ball. And he can do more outside of the paint and in the paint than what Giannis can. Giannis is strictly a paint guy. If you look at his ability, he's not really good from mid-range. He's absolutely not good from the three-point line. And he's not good from the free throw line. So his only ability is in the paint and driving the ball. So, and back then during the 70s, big men weren't doing that. Giannis is not 6'8", 6'7", 6'6". Giannis is considered a big man. So he ain't going to be able to do all of that. And Ty, I might agree with you. If they allow traveling back there, he might cook.
But his body's in the paint, though.
Exactly. That's the thing. His body's in the paint. You had
Giannis floors when you got shooters around
you
him.
had guys like Bill Walton in the paint during that time. Like, come on now. I don't see it. I don't see it. I'm sorry. I don't see Giannis dominating. Now, if it's someone else, like I said, like Jordan, Braun, Kobe, Dwayne Wade, even Tracy McGrady, Carmelo Anthony, like I can name guys that can. You got to be able to do more than just one thing. Giannis is not really good at everything. He's good at, he's a good playmaker, but Giannis is a bad example.
Yeah, Giannis is best at his best when he has shooters around.
Yeah.
And back then it wasn't like there wasn't a game. Everything was inside out. So he's gonna have to develop a post game.
Exactly.
It was a bad example.
And that's not something that Giannis has, honestly. He does not necessarily have a post game.
I definitely get the point. And he don't have a post game. I know the Cleveland Browns, they got some bad reporters. Or the Cowboys got some bad reporters.
It's some bad reporting going on for both teams right now.
It's somebody lying, right? Somebody lying, Dave. There was a report that came out from the Cleveland side, multiple sources that said that I saw one guy, I can't remember his name. I have a really credible source who said that the Cleveland Browns, the reason why Myles Garrett stayed is because they are working on a trade to get Dak Prescott. Then the Cowboys side come on and said that's a lie. I'm calling cap, basically. So, Dave, if these rumors are true, I know you probably got the details too. If these rumors are true, what do you think about these rumors? Your reaction?
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. It makes no sense. But you know why it makes sense? It's the Cleveland Browns. That's why it makes sense. It's the Cleveland Browns, so it makes sense. You are still paying $37 million to Deshaun Watson this season. If you add Dak Prescott to that, that's another $89 million. Let me repeat that. That's another $89 million on top of that. Because Dak is making $89 million this season. He's not making the $52 million that it says he's going to average for this season. He's making $89 because that signing bonus also counts for this year as well. So that's almost that's close to $170 million. No, I'm bad. My bad. That's close to $120 million for just two players. And these are quarterbacks. They're not going to be on the field at the same time.
Exactly.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And I don't know what the guy was doing when he reported this. But, Joe, let me tell you something. I don't know if you saw this interview with Myles Garrett when they asked him about a quarterback.
I did. I saw it when he didn't want to say it.
He didn't want to say it. So people use that as to maybe Dak Prescott is the reason why they were saying that, because he was saying that the quarterback that's coming is going to help. So he has an idea that they're actually talking about getting some quarterback. Who that is, I don't know. There's even a rumor, Joe, that it might be Kirk Cousins. Guess what, Joe? Kirk Cousins also owed $40 million for this season. So even if it's not Dak, that's still almost $80 million to two players on the team who won't be on the field at the same time. So it doesn't make sense. Also, Dak has a no trade clause. So he's not going nowhere unless he decides to go.
Exactly.
He's basically the Bradley Beal of the NFL right now. He has a no trade clause in the contract you don't want.
Tomo guys.
Both Tomo guys. Both Tomo guys. So it's just this one right here really it makes sense for the Cowboys. Now that's something that I would say it makes sense for the Cowboys. If Dak agrees to it, it makes a lot of sense for the Cowboys because they're going to get the Browns' first overall pick this season, which means they're going to be in position to draft a quarterback, which means more than likely that's going to be Sheduer Sanders. Now, I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Dak is not going to agree to go to Cleveland Browns. I just don't see it. You're going to go to Cleveland instead of Dallas? You get no state taxes right now. You go to Cleveland?
I know.
Out of all teams.
And it's warm over there.
I get it. You got Jerry Jeudy over. No. Yeah. You got Jerry Jeudy over there. But what else is it? Nick Chubb ain't there. You got David Njoku. Oh,
You about to say Njoku.
You got Myles Garrett on defense.
Stefanski.
You got Kevin Stefanski. But, I mean, doesn't Dak want to win the Super Bowl? Is that going to happen with the Cleveland Browns? I mean, I don't see it happening with Dallas either, but is it going to happen with the Cleveland Browns? No. You're going from one tough division to another tough division. You're going to be in the same division with
Lamar, Joe Burrow.
With Lamar and Joe Burrow. He's going to be the third best quarterback at that time too. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just and
Aaron Rodgers who owned that.
Exactly. I don't get it.
I got a question, Dave. So you think Sheduer is a better option than Dak right now?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, right now I'm gonna say no, but for the future, yes.
Yes, I got you. Obviously, this season probably not.
This season, no, but for the future, yes.
It's a good move.
I would do it in a heartbeat. If I'm the Cowboys and he didn't have a no trade clause, and they offered that first overall, that number 2 overall pick, I'm signing. You got it. You got Dak. I'm calling it Dak. Yeah. This is Jerry. What I need you to do right now, Dak, is that contract you got. Yeah, go ahead and pack your bags. Look for a house in Cleveland, Ohio, because you're going to the Browns. Click. I'm doing that immediately. I got a chance to go draft Sheduer Sanders.
Yeah, people. Yeah. Do you have the proposal, like potential? I know you posted in the chat. Do you have like?
I don't have the exact proposal of what it
but
was.
It got something to do with
I just know it was going to be multiple draft picks, including the number 2 overall pick this season.
And a player. Was it Newsom?
It was and Greg Newsom.
So you telling me you're gonna draft Greg Newsom, who's a young QB, who I've been asking for all year, by the way. The second overall draft.
You said cornerback?
That's a QB. Y'all not asking for no quarterback. I got JD5. We need cornerbacks. All right, but anyways, the second overall pick and other picks just to get bounced in the second round. Hey, that's how you know how bad a team is. They don't have aspirations to get to the Super Bowl. They have aspirations to win a playoff game.
That's it.
That's your ceiling with Dak.
That's it.
You telling me you got a team that Dak never had? Dak never had a team better than what you got right now? Like Myles Garrett, and you got Michael Parsons. You know, I mean, didn't they have the most All Pros one year and they still got bounced?
Yep.
Then they had a number one offense and still got bounced.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had a number one running back in NFL and still got bounced.
Still got bounced. Yep.
I mean, what else you know? What? The number one receiver for real, CD line, not number one, but statistically, top 2, top 3, and still get. What more do you want? Shout out Tyrese. What more do you want from me? Like, wow, what the Browns are doing. Now I see what Carl and Vaughn talking about, and Chris, all these cheers in the chat. The Browns are the Browns. They are laughing stock. And they were so excited to report this. That's why I'm laughing. I don't think it's true. But the fact that they were excited, guys, I'm telling you. The reason why Myles Garrett signed back, because they are in the trade talks to get Dak Prescott. Hold on, what? What's going on? Yeah, Dak? Bro, why are you so happy reporting this? If I was you, I'll wait till it's real to report it.
He made it a spectacle. Like he was like, guys.
Exactly.
I was
it's
like, why
Dak Prescott?
Dak?
Bro, your ceiling is the second round. Like, you're not going no further than that. Like, I mean, Baker got you there, and you weren't happy. So you didn't be happy with Dak? Come on, bro. And if I'm Dak, like you said, trade clause, no trade clause, I ain't going to Cleveland. I'm in Dallas. Yeah. I get in the headlines, good or bad. I'm getting talked about. I'm getting my Jerry going to wait a long time, but he going to pay my bread. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you going to get my bread? You know, like, I'm straight. Why would I go to Cleveland when this is the mediocrity? They haven't won a championship in team history. Baltimore had to take over their team, and they won 2. Mm-hmm. Like, come on. So, it's crazy. I hope it's true because I'll laugh. No, I don't hope it's true because Sheduer might be in that division regardless. Either the Giants or the Cowboys, I don't know. But it's just funny. Like, shout out to Tay. Shout out to all the Cowboys fans, not Chad, Worm, Carter, Tomo. What?
I mean, but if you look at the options, it's a better option than having Kenny Pickett as your quarterback.
No, it ain't. If I'm gonna trade all that crap to get him, if he gonna walk in the door, yes. And then you know what's crazy? I haven't even talked. You talked about it. I haven't even said nothing about the contract, and it's still bad. Like
yes.
And then when you top it up with the contract, you're like, what? Hey, he's making $60 million a year. Like, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
It makes.
But man, it's good. It's Lockem In, man.
Yeah.
It's Lockem In, man. You got the R2L Lockem In. All right. Y'all see the records. I thought Dave took an L. I was getting a little excited for a second. But he got it done. Mm-hmm. So we both 8-4, Tomo 6-6. All right. And like Tomo would say, these picks are our opinion. So do not bet your house. Do not bet all your money. And I'm not saying you don't do it. If you want to do what you gotta do, but don't do it. And if you don't hit the parlay or whatever we say, don't be looking for it.
Don't come looking for us. We ain't say this was a fact. We ain't say this is guaranteed. This ain't no Charles. Did we not Charles Barkley? I guarantee this ain't
exactly
not us.
You see any zeros in the second column? No, we all took L's.
Exactly.
And you might be number 5 on my list. So just be cautious, all right? But all I said, if you did take every bet we did, you making some money right now. You can buy on the records to win a record. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, Dave, you got Tomos?
Yeah.
You can pull up Tomos. Come my phone is
Tomos pick. Celtics money line versus the Spurs.
No, the Spurs. They're not. They all playing out. Yeah, it is. Yeah. No, whoa. Celtics money line over the Spurs?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, bro. Tomo, they're not gonna make no money off that. But y'all know they're gonna win the world.
Yeah.
Hold on. I think we should start doing this. Putting that's minus 600. I mean, come on. Make that thing minus 11.5. You scared, Tomo? I've seen this. So you telling me if I bet $10, I'm gonna be making $11.66. I'm only making $1.66 on this bet. You know, I'm gonna take you one further. I'm gonna take the 11.5 on Celtics.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the 11.5.
I probably would take it too, honestly. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm taking 11.5. But go ahead, Dave.
Now my bet makes more sense to be taking the money line because I'm betting on my own team. Because they can lose at any moment. So I'm betting Miami Heat money line against the Philadelphia 76ers on Saturday.
That's minus 310. All right.
I had to. I'm sorry. Miami Heat is vulnerable to losing to a bad team. It's just it happens.
Mm-hmm.
We were just on a 10-game losing streak. We have 19 losses after having double-digit leads. So, just saying.
All right. So I have one, but I'm gonna change it because I think the one I had is too risky. All right. So I'm gonna take Florida minus 6.5 over Texas Tech.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
I'm gonna do it.
That's a good one. Because Florida blew out Maryland in that game.
I know. And that was, I had Florida in my bracket. But then Arkansas, I just need Arkansas to win. And then it just folded, bro. Carl is happy. Kind of mad about that. Shout out to Todd.
This man Carl got a 99.7% in the freaking bracket, bro.
Hey, make sure y'all tune in to CTC, Carl Talking College. But Todd Lockem In last week actually hit. He put in the chat. So,
because that was that girl, that boxing match. That was tight.
My Lockems. Lockem In. Okay. All right, Sandy Ryan. Oh.
My bad. Sandy Ryan. Sandy Ryan over Michaela Mayer and Tevin Farmer over Zapata. I think it's William Zapata. I think that's his name.
And Tevin Farmer. He got 2, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So look, great show, Dave, man. Great show. My boy Tomo not here. I'm gonna give y'all the superstar shout outs in a second, but my last word, shout out to the Commanders. The Commanders are doing their thing. I'm excited about the Commanders. Looking forward to the football season. We got basketball. My team is out of it. I got OKC winning the whole thing. Oh, take this down. I got OKC winning the whole thing. I got the Celtics getting there, so I got Celtics and OKC. So I'm sticking to my pick. And I want to give a shout out to the superstar members before my phone dies. Shout out to Coach Coombs, myself, Dave, Tomo, Worm, Taniqua, Decorius, Vaughn, Teddy, BWT, and RBO, I mentioned earlier, Chris, Giovanni, Cardo, and you, if you become a superstar member. No, we're not at the playoffs. Y'all won the trade. We traded Fox.
Yeah.
I already said that in the chat. Y'all won the trade. Mm-hmm. But we're not out the playoffs, though. Still in the playoffs. But Kings, man, capture the flag. Be out the playoffs. How about that? Be out the playoffs. Capture the flag. We get Cooper flag, bro. Because that's the only way we get a superstar. No other way. Nobody coming to Sacramento. I'm tired of rooting for these mediocre teams. Wake Forest. I mean, Commanders got JD5. Thank God. You know what I mean? But before that, it was trash. So, Kings, be like the Commanders. Be the second worst team or the worst team and get a guy. Do that. That's what I got there. Shout out to you. Shout out to Tomo. Shout out to the whole network. Shout out to everybody in the chats.
Yeah, my message is going to be consistent after every show. If you want to be a part of something great, this is where you need to be. Subscribe, like, hit the notification button because you're not going to get anywhere else what you get here.
15 more.
15 subscribers away from 1,600 subscribers. Come on, y'all. It ain't that hard. That subscribe button right there. Just go ahead and hit it. Bloop, you good. And if you get to if you want to become a member, click the link in the bio. You get a lot of perks that a lot of people don't get. You're getting something that's going to be great within the next few years. You're going to see a network that started from the bottom and became its own thing. This is the next ESPN, the next Fox Sports. You're getting it right here. Because we don't just have a show. It's a network, baby. And this is the Whole Foods of sports shows, the Whole Foods of sport networks. Just do whatever you can to make sure that you subscribe, become a member today, because you're going to have the best experience here at R2L.
You know what, Dave? I'm doing this here on R2L. You ready for this? I'll write this down. In the red corner, got 486 subscribers. Dave's Doghouse.
139, 140.
You know what? You know what, Dave? I 140 right now. You know what? I'm gonna just another time, Dave. I got an idea for you. In the red corner, got 486 subscribers. Ty, if y'all can get to 500 before we get to 1,600, I'll buy you dinner, bro. I'll buy you and Ricky dinner and Tom. I'll buy Tom on dinner too. All three of y'all. I'll buy all three of y'all dinner. Uber Eats, DoorDash, how you want it? Because we in different states. I got you. But you got to beat us, though. Can we get to 1,600 before you get to 500, Ty? Come on, you competitive, right? So, are you there?
Okay, there you go.
Right. So, look, because we going to do it before y'all. You ain't got to give me nothing. That's fine. But if you do it some reason, how? I mean, I don't know. A pie in the sky? I don't know. You do it, I got you. You know what? Not Ricky. I'm gonna treat you, Ty, because you're taking it back. Not Tomo. Sorry, Tomo, because you on R2L. You on both sides. You on both sides. So Ty, is the dinner only for you? Oh, we are. Might get there tomorrow. We better catch up. But yeah, that's all right. Get out of here. All right, y'all. That's all we have for y'all. They said tomorrow. All right, y'all. That's all we have for y'all today, and we'll see y'all at the next episode.
Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.